Good evening to everyone. Namaste to all from India, and of course, good morning to people joining from USA and Canada. I think there are some people from Israel as well that I see. So, welcome all of you to the 11th session of Jnana Vaividya, a 12-week vocational diversity speaker series conceived by our District 3190 vocational service team led by Rotarian Dr. P.M. Radhakrishna. On behalf of our DG, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad, District 3190 Vocational Service Team, and Lead Club, Rotary Bangalore Whitefield Central, I am Manoj Kabre, welcoming you all. Friends, we have very carefully curated this series to bring selected speakers who have done some excellent work in their vocation, and all of them have been ready to share their extensive knowledge with us all. So, special welcome to our today's speakers, Mr. Prasoon Gupta and Mr. Ankit Sahu. Important is that both are from very, very diverse fields of business, and both probably have born to win. And so aptly, we have with us our chief guest, past President Rotarian Ramakumar Seshu of Born to Win fame. I would like to make a special mention of the 5 guest clubs who have partnered with us today for this event. Warm welcome to all my co-presidents, Rotarians, as well as friends of Rotary, especially Lions Club members, all of you who have taken specially the time to join this session. Our vocational service team at District 3190 believes in our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's vision. The more we give importance to skill development, the more competent will be our youth. This team, led by our Vocational Service Director, Dr. P.M. Radhakrishna, comprises of subcommittees such as Vocational Diversity and Awards, VTT and Friendship Exchange, Skill Development, Startup and Entrepreneurship, 4-way test, Business Development, Career Advancement of Rotarians, Career Guidance, People of Action, and Rotary Action Groups. So without further delay, may I now request Rotarian Shekhar to do a quick introduction of our speakers today, and then we will be handing over the session to both of them, who would one by one talk about their experience with respect to the success that they have acquired and give us some more details. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj. It's my pleasure to introduce the 2 speakers for the day today, Mr. Prasoon Gupta and Mr. Ankit Sahu. Mr. Prasoon Gupta is the CEO and co-founder of Satvico, an alumni of IIT Roorkee. Prasoon ran Tech Buddy Consulting for 5 years as Coursera for India with over 500 experts on board. He successfully trained more than 100,000 students across India with a successful exit in 2013. Since then, he started building his food startup, Satvico, which is now India's fastest growing food brand. He's been a TEDx speaker and aimed to reinvent this Indian superfoods for new age consumer. If you haven't checked out his website, I mean, the Satvico has a beautiful section on recipe. Particularly interesting is the chai flavored ice cream. So I strongly suggest everybody should check that out. Our second speaker is Mr. Ankit Sahu, Director, Objectify Technology Private Limited. Ankit pursued his Bachelor of Engineering in Mechanical from RV College of Engineering, Bangalore, and his Master of Science in Manufacturing Technology from Warwick University, United Kingdom. He founded Objectify Technology right after returning from UK in 2013 at the SIIC Incubation Center at IIT Kanpur. He has immense knowledge of additive manufacturing, 3D printing, and seeks to take Objectify Technologies as not only a manufacturing service bureau, but also a thought leader, which will inform industry and individuals about the value a 3D printing can provide for the future of manufacturing. With that, I look forward for an interesting session. Over to you, Mr. Prasoon and Mr. Ankit.
Hi, Ankit. I think if you can start and then I can continue after you. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay. So now I was wondering, Ankit, would you like to start or should I start?
You can start.
Okay. Thank you, Manoj sir, for inviting me for this session, and it's so great to see some of the most, I would say, socially involved and so, I mean, highly responsible luminaries from the Rotary from across the world. And I think Rotary Club and the Rotarians have been those people who I think have been the most, I mean, the biggest contributors probably in terms of the social values that they have added across the country, and not just in India, but outside India as well. So to introduce myself, I'm Prasoon. I come from this small but very beautiful city called Udaipur. Udaipur is also known as the city of lakes. I was born and brought up in Udaipur, and after that I went to IIT Roorkee, became an engineer into civil engineering. Always wanted to become an astronaut, but because of my rank, I could not get the aeronautical sciences or the aeronautical engineering. So I basically settled for civil engineering. But when I was graduating, I somehow, so one of the things that I always wanted was that whatever I do, I think it should add a lot of value to the ecosystem around me. And at the same time, I think my dream of going to space. So when I was in my third year, I somehow realized that if I keep pursuing what everybody else is pursuing, probably I would not be able to make enough for myself to basically buy a seat for a flight to the space. So I think that was the motivation for me behind becoming an entrepreneur. And when I was young, I used to watch this beautiful series on Sony TV. It was called I Dream of Genie. And probably that was my inspiration for traveling into space. And I'm sharing this story because Manoj sir has named this session as Food to Flight. So for me, it's flight to food. I can actually talk about how I dreamt of becoming an astronaut and how basically I'm building a company in food. So when I was in my final year of engineering, I had this opportunity to be a part of one of these sessions that was conducted by a professor from IIM Ahmedabad. The professor's name was Dr. Sunil Handa, and I was a part of this entrepreneurship cell in my campus. And this Professor Sunil Handa, he's famous for training a lot of entrepreneurs in India, very renowned entrepreneurs in India. And he used to do a course on entrepreneurship at IIM Ahmedabad. And fortunately, he basically came to IIT Roorkee to conduct a 2-day workshop. And that workshop, I remember, was called the Laboratory for Entrepreneurial Motivation. I'm talking about 2008 as a year when this entire buzzword of entrepreneurship was not that, I mean, it was not that a buzzword, you know, people were not really talking about entrepreneurs. We were not celebrating enough failures in India at that point of time as we are doing today. Still, there is a long way to go. But I think entrepreneurs are born to fail and then to succeed. So celebrating the failures was still not a part of our ecosystem, but gradually it is now becoming. So I'm talking about 2008. This guy, Dr. Sunil Handa, he comes to our campus. I was in my final year. I was basically preparing for taking my exams for CAT and other stuff. A lot of people from IIT, they either go to the US or either they join a private company, or they would prepare for a CAT or IIM entrance examination. So like everybody else, I was also doing that, but probably I was not really happy doing that because somewhere that dream of going into space, when I was looking at options in front of me, I was evaluating all of them, and I actually realized that the day if I pick up any of these available options, the so-called available options in front of me, the day I choose one of them, probably the day I realize that I would have made enough money, at that point of time, I would be a little too old to maybe, go into space or buy a ticket to space, because all of these options were very traditional options. Most of the people who are graduating along with me, they would actually go to an IIM, would become an investment banker, would join an MNC, and at certain age, at the age of 55 or 60, they would retire probably as the CEO of a MNC or a large company. And probably at that point of time, they would have made like 50, 60 or 100 crores for them. And a few of them would have made a little more than that as well. Or you would have actually, a lot of them would have dreamt of going to the US and becoming US citizens and all that, you know. So I think all of these options were available till the point of time this guy called Sunil Handa came to our campus. So this was a 2-day workshop. It was called the Laboratory for Entrepreneurial Motivation. Today I call it the Laboratory for Entrepreneurial Jihad. I mean, those 2 days taught me how jihadis are trained. I mean, this guy came. We were in a closed room with him for almost 6 hours every day. And at the end of second day, I mean, there's this one statement that he said, which I keep repeating to everyone I meet and I talk about my journey. If you have not experienced entrepreneurship in your life, you have not experienced ejaculation in your life. Although that word was still, you know, it was like a surprise for all of us, because there was like boys and girls, all of them sitting, and a professor from IIM Ahmedabad coming and talking to us like that. What's happening for the first time? Because we were in a technical campus and all we used to learn about was technology. But I think those 2 days changed my thoughts around what I wanted to do beyond that. And I think that's when I wanted to, that's when I decided that if I really want to live my dreams, so I meet people today and I tell them, Satwiko is my second company. Once this becomes successful, my next company would be a company in space science. And I'm very sure about that, for the only reason that my journey has been not flight to, the journey has been flight to food till date. Flight has been a dream, but I want to now make it from food to flight. So that is something, that dream is something which I'm still living today. So post that, I went to my friends, post that session of Dr. Sunil Handa, I went to my friends. I spoke to them about, this entire idea of entrepreneurship. And somehow I was fortunate that I spoke to like 5 of my friends, and obviously what a college campus gives you is those group of friends who are so closely knit that anything that you share with them with passion, they would buy it. They would not look ki matlab, what you are trying to say can actually lead to the career losses for everyone. It could actually be detrimental to all our dreams. They would actually look at your passion, because you are the friend who has lived with them for the last 4 years. And because I was telling that entire experience with passion, and I was actually giving them a dream, I think they got sold to my dream. We started our first company when we were in the final year at IIT, just 1 day before the placement season start. I wanted to ensure that none of these 4 people should sit in the placement. And I think once they bought the dream, they decided to withdraw their names along with me from that entire placement process. And I think that was the foundation of my first company. It was called Tech Buddy. This is 2009. In 2009, we wanted to change the entire education system. We thought that those 4 years at IIT, all the knowledge that we got exposed to was very limited to that campus and the professors who were the part of that campus. In 2020, we are looking at EdTech as the biggest revolution to happen. We saw that revolution in 2009, and we actually started building an entire company on that, which we actually built for the next 4 years. We trained almost 100,000 students. I'm talking about times when the internet speeds were not there, and there were so many infrastructure related issues that we had to face. I mean, if we were going to a campus to conduct a session or deliver a program, we were not able to do that because you had to load the entire content on the local server. There were privacy issues and everything. But somehow we managed to train those 100,000 students, and we got a strategic investor in 2012 to invest in that company, who gave us an offer of a buyout a year later. I think when I look at the hindsight today, that was year 2012, and probably we didn't make that big money, you know. We made a couple of crores between 3 of us. But probably we were not sure if the vision that we were trying to build was actually building up in that company that we are trying to build. So I would say it was a success, but it was also a failure for me, because we had started that entire company with the vision, but probably because of the infrastructural issues, if that was 2020, if I look at it, probably we would have done much bigger than that. But these are all probable things. It did not happen. I took a year to travel. I took a year to just figure out what I now wanted to do. And during this entire 1 year, I traveled across India. I traveled to almost 28 states in India. I even went to the border in Jammu Kashmir, and there is a photograph which I actually keep looking at. There is this border of Pakistan just at my back. It was a peaceful border, although. So there were these two farms, one on the side of Pakistan, one on the side of India, and I got a chance to play cricket on the border. I don't know how many cricketers in the country or the world would have actually got that chance, but it was all those people living on those border areas where they were so helpful. They were so delighted to see us, and we played cricket. Cricket unites India, and we played that game. During that 1 year, I also got a chance to travel to multiple countries outside India. I lived in California for 3 months. I saw India, and I saw world. When I came back to India, I was transformed. I was transformed because I saw the beauty of India. I saw how beautiful actually India is. And I also saw that America is a country who is phenomenal in marketing. And India is a country who's phenomenal in depth, who's phenomenal in beauty. If I can learn that one skill called marketing, and if I can take this brand India from India to every home in the world, I think India has so much to share to the world that you can even spend centuries talking about it. India is the oldest civilization in the world, so we have so much in our culture, in our food. So I was amazed by the food. I was amazed by the story. There was this. We know about an organization called ISKCON. It is called International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The founder of ISKCON, Prabhupada has a famous story where people say that when he went to the US at the age of 65 to talk about Krishna, to spread about Krishna, he didn't talk about Krishna to anyone. He first shared a prasad with them. So the first thing that he used to do when he met somebody was give them a delicious prasad. Because in our age-old Ayurveda, in our age-old tradition, it is written that the route to the heart of a person goes through the stomach. And he understood that science so well that before talking about Krishna, he used to offer them prasad. And when these people became friends, he used to talk about Krishna. That day I realized it is food. It is a science of food for the last 10,000 years, which India has created, probably that still exists in different parts of the country, that needs to be now understood by the world. And we realize that if we can create foods for the modern consumers using that science from the history of India, from the legacy of India, and if we can create those interesting and delicious products for the modern consumers, I'm pretty sure that we can remove the so-called lifestyle medicines from the lifestyles of every person on this planet. And this is what India can actually do to the world. So that's what we thought of creating. We started this company 2014. We have had our ups and downs. There have been challenges all across our journey, but I've been fortunate to have those people around me in terms of my family, in terms of my team, and in terms of my investors who have backed us in this entire journey. Today, we are basically, so today Satwiko is present not just in India, but we are actually present in 5 more countries outside India. We have a decent presence out in those countries as well. So to say that as a vision, personally, I want to buy the ticket to space. I want to create that company that enables people to travel to space. That's my long-term life vision. But with Satwiko, my vision is to take Indianness, the science of Indian food, to every home in the world, so that every family can live a better lifestyle. So this is about me.
So
wonderful. I think the passion with which you have spoken, Prasoon, I think we were just engrossed, and probably you took us all around to California and every other place that you spoke about. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Over to you, Ankit.
So thank you, Prasoon. Thank you, Manoj sir, for inviting today. And it is my great pleasure to be present here. And Prasoon, your journey was quite something. And actually being same from an engineering background, but you studied in good low pollution areas of Roorkee. I studied in Bangalore. But for a person, I belong to Kanpur. So it is a industrial town in Uttar Pradesh, and so I belong to a business family, but my father was an assistant commissioner in sales tax. So I had a mix of things. My previous I think 5 generations, we know that we have been only involved in business. So entrepreneurship comes really in our genes. So that was something. So actually, so Manoj sir had sent me some of the pointers to talk about. So one of the good part what Manoj sir had mentioned any one single thing which changed your life actually and turned into an entrepreneur. So I will name 3 drinks in my life which actually changed my point of view. So when I was studying in RV in Bangalore, so all of us in our first year we were having a beer, and when you are like 18 and you're just starting to drink, so drink is something like which becomes like your good friend. So when we were discussing about things, then I realized like in RV College of Engineering we had this Ashwa racing, and with Ashwa racing, it is India's first Formula student race car team. So we used to participate in Germany and Italy and US. So we were the first people to go to that, and that introduced me a lot, not only on the mechanical engineering side of the things, but what is exactly manufacturing. So my most of my undergrad in Bangalore actually was spent in Pina or Bomasandra or these kind of industrial areas itself. I think Manoj sir will be much more familiar than me on those part, but that actually shaped what my thought was. And as any engineer, they start writing for either GMAT or GREs or CAT. I was also writing for my GREs. I finished writing my GREs and I was working with Toyota in Biddi in Bangalore itself, and we were supposed to, so I was a pass out in 2010. So it has been good 10 years. I was telling my wife uh, on 10th of October 2020 that it has been exactly 10 years why we are still together and why Objectify still exists. So on 10th of October 2010, actually, that was my turning point. I had written my GREs and I was planning to go and apply for my US studies. And luckily or unluckily, I lost my passport after having a drink at Munich Oktoberfest. While returning back from Munich to Frankfurt, I lost my passport, and that is the most expensive drink I ever had. So, so after that, everything changed for me. I had to come back to Kanpur because my master's studies was something really important. So I joined um, during my stint in Kanpur, when my passport was getting ready. I joined IIT Kanpur, and we were again one of the first people, first student project to be involved in a project called Jugnu. It was a nano satellite project. So still we have our satellite in the space. So that was something like I was really happy about. Then my professor at IIT Kanpur, Professor Nalinesh Vyas. So when I was going for my master's, actually the US applications were all over. So I had to either apply to Europe or the UK part of the world. So I was about to go to TU Delft actually, but my professor said, what do you want to do in life? You want to end up being a designer, or you want to start something of your own? So I had a chance with my professor because he knew Lord Bhattacharya, who was the head of Warwick Manufacturing Group in UK. So he knew him really well. So he made a phone call to him, and my local guardian in UK was Lord Bhattacharya itself. He just passed away last year itself, and he's actually one of the most internationally renowned personnel from India, and he took care about whatever studies and what manufacturing group was all about. It was all about industry academia partnership, and in India, as I had studied, and I think Prasoon will also conquer with me, is like in India we live in islands. Industry live in a different island, and academia live in another. But in WMG, I realized like this is a new world, a new order. That's how I got introduced to additive manufacturing itself, and that is another journey. So I did my master's thesis in additive. and then I was working with Jaguar Land Rover. So actually coming from a race car background, I always wanted to be in automotive, and automotive is something like which gives you that amount of kick, and being on a racetrack is a different kind of a ball game. And still our team in Ashwa Racing is making India proud. So we have recently, in our 2019 stint, we won the electric vehicle competition in US in Baltimore. So that has been like a legacy for us, and Bangalore has been the key focal point for my all throughout my life itself. So I think a lot of people have today joined from the Bangalore region. So I owe to that audience a lot. Then when I was working at JLR, I really wanted, because university life compared to a professional life where everybody is in the age of 45 to 55 working with me, the whole team was of that age. So everybody, like when we used to go out, they used to only talk about their wives, their kids. So I was feeling left alone. So everybody's dream gets like shattered on those points. So I used to visit my professor as I was writing a technical paper with him. So I used to visit my professor, and we used to go out drinking on every TGIF. That's, thank God it's Friday. So we used to go out drinking, and that's when he said, rather than wasting or like going around for 3 years in Warwick doing your PhD, why don't you go back to India and start something of your own? Because you have that zeal and you have that confidence. So that's how Objectify Inception in that bar in Coventry started, and that's why like we are. So Arpit, my younger brother, he's a IIT Kanpur graduate himself, and I belong to Kanpur. So SIDBI Innovation and Incubation Center gave us the opportunity to start our venture in IIT Kanpur itself. So we had a 200 square foot office in IIT Kanpur. We had a very small printer, and since then our main aspiration was how to serve manufacturing in the country and how to get involved in more valuable projects across the globe. And that has been a great journey. So since 2015, we have been in Delhi, and it has been a topsy-turvy ride in the field of manufacturing itself. A lot of entrepreneurs, as Prasoon was also mentioning, don't want to enter or manufacturing itself. So a lot of people try to avoid manufacturing as something like because from my batch, everybody had been in 2013-14, everybody was talking about entrepreneurship, but most of the people were interested in e-commerce or big data, AI or something like that. But we were very much focused on manufacturing itself. So currently, Objectify is serving more than 550 plus customers in India, and 20% we serve abroad: Singapore, UAE, Israel, Europe, and Americas we have been serving. And it has been a great journey. So currently we are one of the biggest facility in South Asia itself. And it has all started with those 3 drinks, which has actually shaped my life. And those 3 drinks is something which I cherish and still gives me a jitter in my spine, that if I wouldn't have survived those 3 drinks, I wouldn't have been sitting in front of all you people and wouldn't be talking about it. And luckily it has been just exactly 10 years since I lost my passport, and it has been like just my passport story. So I've been talking about this to my wife, to my people who work with me, to my brother, to all my customers. And the beautiful part is that we have been getting a chance to work with the organizations which everybody dream to actually visit. So for the first time when we visited, we are ISRO's preferred vendors for additive manufacturing. So for the first time when I visited Vikram Sarabhai Space Center at Trivandrum, it was like an emotional moment for me, because every engineer who is into mechanical, his dream place is Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. And now we are their preferred partners. And from actually a lot of credit goes to Manoj sir also. So with Manoj sir's company, we are not only a customer, we are also their vendor. So what we treat each other as is the partnership. So a lot of things in manufacturing side has been towards the partnership, and that's how we have been moving further. And it has given us great amount of learnings, great amount of knowledge, how people work, how these bigger organizations work. So we had the greatest opportunities to visit centers, not only in the government side, but we were able to witness one of the biggest oil and gas plants in the world, the Reliance Hazira plant. So we are doing digitalization of their complete MRO related maintenance, repair, overhaul equipments, and that has given us a good overview about different industries and sectors. So it has been a great journey, and we are really proud of it. And still, I owe a lot of things to my family, and I still owe a lot of things to the city. I think most of the people are currently talking from. So Bangalore is very close to me, even though I did all my primary educations in Kanpur, but Bangalore is the place where I learned a lot, and that's the place I still cherish, because most of my still revenue come from that area. So a lot of tech centers and new product development happen in that region. So it has been a good place and good talk about it, sir. Hello, Manoj sir. No.
We are able to hear you, sir. Please continue.
Yes. So if you have any questions, you can just pass it around, or
We request to participant to type your questions in the chat window so that we can take it up. It's a very inspiring talk by both Ankit and Prasud. Let us give us a couple of minutes whether Manoj can able to. Okay, maybe his mobile says it's unmuted.
it's actually muted right now.
Yeah, it's muted. Okay.
Yes.
Manoj, can you hear us? Okay, I'll just have to go through the questions in the chat window.
Yes, sir. Manoj sir.
Yeah, thank you so
Manoj?
much. I think nice reminiscences from your side as well. I think these are some of the things which really inspire a lot of us, not just the youngsters, I would say, because there is so much of truth and so much of sincerity in all the stories that both of you have recited, that I think that kind of helps us get fond memories of our own past. One more thing which I wanted you to draw a parallel, Ankit, after having heard Prasoon's story. Is there any learning from your business that you feel could be useful to Prasoon in his business? Because both your businesses are very diverse.
Exactly.
And that was the main reason that we picked up both of you from very diverse industries. That if there are any parallels that both of you can draw, I will request you to first recite any such thing. There are a lot of learnings that we have in our life which would have taken us long time to learn them or understand them, right? But after having gone through it, we are able to draw some wonderful conclusions, which becomes a very good recipe for somebody else. So is there something of that kind that we would like to narrate to Prasoon, and later
yes.
would Prasoon like to narrate something to you?
So actually the topic, the food to flight, is something like an amazing thing to talk about, because food is something like everybody is right now having because of the lockdown and everything, but the flights and everything, nobody is able to manage. So it is in the near future. So when you were sitting in a flight thinking about food, right now you are sitting having your food and thinking about flights. So that is something like nobody gets as a joke right now in the COVID times. So but the trouble of any so I belong to business family all throughout my life, and 5 generations we have been selling tobacco. So we our family business is into tobacco itself. So when I was reciting my idea to my family itself, so they were like a tobacco person going into something into technology, and that too into high value manufacturing. That was something people were taken aback. But one greatest learning what I got from my elder my Tauji actually was like, see, all businesses are bound to make money. You are not there to just sell everything without making any money. So that is somewhere like what people go wrong, and that's why like what people have been talking about celebrating failures. What so I always try to do an introspection rather than going and introspecting others personality, because everybody's journey is totally different. But what that actually statement means is like an entrepreneur never fails. So you have to change your track. So because a lot of my friends um, so after shifting to Delhi, and when I was living in Kanpur, so these are like two areas where a lot of refugees since the 1947 partition was done. So a lot of people who were sent from Pakistan and all these places were living in these regions. So still the place I live in, Delhi, it is very close to these kind of places. So a lot of learnings from them also I've got is like survival is something really important. You should be able to change your focus as soon as possible. You should be able to anticipate things. If you are saying that your thesis on any problem statement is something which you are only confident on, so you have to take it through. It should not be a case that um, you are adhering to others' advices but not taking your own inner gut feeling. So a lot of entrepreneurship, I feel, is still gut feeling, and people don't talk about great entrepreneurs coming out of India. But we had like in our past 70 years, we had one of the greatest entrepreneurs ever. The city I'm currently living in and the city I'm coming from, we have greatest entrepreneurs ever. So there are stories of Jokila Kamlapat Singhania, the JK Group. He came to the city of Kanpur, and on debt he kept his gold pot and started his business of yarn actually. So those are like beautiful stories. You hear stories of Chand Saigal, who's the uh, owner of Motherson Group. So necessity is something very important, and you should be able to monetize on those necessity, which is any core of any of the businesses possible. So you are not doing charity. You have to understand that, and there are things you have to monetize on in the coming future itself.
Very well said, Ankit. Thank you so much. Prasoon, any such similar points from you where you have got the learnings through your business and you felt that this is very hard learned thing that you would want Ankit to look at, being from a diverse business?
So I think Ankit's story was so interesting for many reasons, because he talked about drinks, and I was reading a question on the chat window: is drinking addictive? So I think that's a very interesting discussion. I think we can have some other day. And I think the interesting part about Ankit's story was that a lot can happen over drinks. I think one of the biggest enterprise in India, the Cafe Coffee Day, which came out of Bangalore, a lot can happen over coffee. A lot can happen over drinks. It's something that people know from the last many centuries. So Ankit, I think your story was phenomenal, because you come from the at one point of time, Kanpur was the most industrialized town in the country. Sad to look at the situation. It is the 8th wonder on the planet now. I mean, whenever I go to Kanpur, I say, I don't know how people in this city can live, because of the only reason that सबके बाप का है कानपुर. मतलब आप रोड पे जाओगे तो जानता नहीं है मैं कौन हूँ. This is the only dialogue you would hear from any Kanpuria. And Kanpur, I have got some family as well in. So, and of course, IIT Kanpur we used to visit when we were students. So I think my life, I somehow think that there are two very important things in my life. One is yoga, and second is people. So I've been a yoga enthusiast for the last 2 years, and I think which has changed my life completely. So we talk a lot about work, we talk a lot about life. But I think what life actually is, I think the last 2 years, the way I've learned life when I've got into yoga, it has changed the perspective for me when I look at things. So you become very indifferent to a lot of things, and at the same time, you start loving the world even much more. So I think that is one of the key learnings that, I mean, if anybody has not experienced yoga, definitely go and try that. It is not a solution to your problems. It is something that will make your life into a real life. So I think that's what I learned from yoga. I think the second biggest learning which I've had in my life is around people and karma. So I believe a lot into karma circles. So there is a theory that somebody told me like many years back, something called karma circle. So karma circle is nothing but the circles in which you the people around you. So for me, anybody who knows me is into my karma circle. Now it could be a negative karma, it could be a positive karma. So my circle is what I basically is known for. So my personality is nothing but my karma circle. So I believe in people a lot. So I believe that if it is the people who, I mean, if you are surrounded by the kind of people who only think about positive things, the things that you think are positive, then these are the people who would take your karma circles to a very, I mean, they will actually enlarge your karma circle because they will talk about you, they will talk about the good things that you have, and I think you would also talk about the good things that they have. So I think in physics also we believe that everything has a gravitational pull. I say that this is not gravitational pull, this is a karma pull. So I think these karma circles is a bunch of people, and I am blessed to have some great people around me. And I think it is the good karma of those people which kind of influences me to keep doing good. And if I keep doing good, I think rest everything, there is something called destiny which will figure out. And my only thing is I want to create that space company which takes me to space. So that's the only materialistic objective that I have in life. But yes, apart from that, everything will figure out if the karma circles are getting bigger with the positive people around us. So this is my learning.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I got to know a new quotient called KQ, karma quotient, in addition to IQ, SQ, EQ, other things that I have. Okay, here is a question in the chat box. You need to be economically strong to get into ideas of both the speakers. That's a question from Canada, from our Rotarian Shankara Rao, who has woken up early in the morning to listen to this. Have I got your question right, Shankar sir?
So I think Manoj sir, if the question was right, he wanted to ask if economical background is the only thing that or is an important part of starting anything. Well, so these days there are a lot of these Netflix web series that are coming, and one of them is called Bad Boy Billionaires. There's a similar series on Sony Live which is around Harshad Mehta, the scam or whatever. So let us just look at those web series just like 5 minutes before the ending. So if you, let's say, look at the story of somebody like Nirav Modi, obviously he's not an he's a thief, he's a crook. Let us not idolize him, but let us also give him the due credit of what he created out of nothing, creating a luxury brand out of India. His vision was that he wants to have that Indian brand adjacent to the store of Tiffany in the most upmarket street of New York and London. Now that's vision. For that vision, he needed money. And of course that money could have come from legitimate or illegitimate sources. But for every vision, the vision has to happen first before the money comes in. So in my company, very frankly, I started with nothing. We were like 5 friends. All of us took 20,000 bucks from our family because we wanted to take a house in Delhi. Now from there, it was all about, can I share my vision to those people who can actually give me legitimate money? And of course, I'm using this word again and again because I don't want you guys to think that a person like Subrata Roy, who was on a scooter, going house to house and trying to basically take the people's livelihood at a next level. Of course, what he did in the end was greed, was sheer greed. But what he envisioned was not an outcome of greed. Obviously, the people supported that. Obviously, people invested in that. And obviously, if he had done it the right way, everybody would have known him as the rags to riches story. And when we say rags to riches, I don't say that he didn't have a thanni in his pocket. He would have had 1 rupee, but 1 rupee could not have built Sahara before it actually failed to the level that it actually was created. So
very nice. I think good point. Ankit, you have anything to say on that question?
So economics attracts economics. So that is something like a basic thing, and I think Prasoon has beautifully summarized everything. And so there is an old saying. Actually, I belong to a Bania group, so there are a certain amount of sayings in our group also. So what everybody believes, until you are supposed to feed your family for next 3 years, you will be able to survive as an entrepreneur. So that is somewhere like people go wrong on family terms, on understanding the idea of entrepreneurship. First feed yourself, then feed your idea, then feed your people around you. So that is somewhere like what is written uh, on an oxygen mask when you are on a flight. So first put it on yourself and then put it on the other person. So that is where like people go wrong also. And something like on building a team, so you can have a rock star team in the beginning and fall it out, or you can have someone whom you can understand and you can start something. So I started this company with my brother, and I started with one of my childhood friend who was a chartered accountant. So my idea to start with my chartered accountant friend was like I will avoid all the due diligence itself. So that was the greed I had to start with my. Even though he got more involved in the company, but he has been managing all the financial point of view and everything. But that understanding of people forget in any of the entrepreneurship. And what Prasoon just said, talking to people on good karma, so that has been like a great learning for us also. And I totally when I started my company, one of my father asked one of uncle who was working in JK Tire. He was an HR head there, so he just retired from JK Tire. So he asked, like, he's also in Delhi, why cannot he can help you out. So he's still working with me here. So one thing what he taught me was like, A grade people make a A grade company, and B grade people make a B grade company. So try not to judge everyone on the cost basis, try to judge everybody on the value basis. So that is somewhere like what we have learned. So yes, everything comes at a cost, so you have to be that decent enough to actually uh, tell your family that, all right, till this point I will be uh, not be able to support it, or till this point I'm more focused on the company itself. So that brings out the whole perspective itself. And I think still what the Bania old saying is, till you are surviving on your galla is the box of money in a shop. So if you're not taking out money for yourself for next 2 or 3 cycles of that money rotation, you will be able to survive better. So that's how like a lot of people, lot of youngsters have been misjudged on this entrepreneurship plus investors. There have been like multiple cases. Housing.com, Urban Clap, I know Abhiraj really well, and Abhiraj has been like we have been discussing since he was in IIT Kanpur itself. So he learned a lot of things when he was talking to people in housing. So your personal motivation should take a backseat. Your fundamental motivation of creating a core business which makes your business successful, that is very important.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I think we are short of time now, so I would close the questions here and move on to the next segment. Request Somasundar to introduce our chief guest.
Good evening, friends. Manoj and Radhakrishna, this was a lesson better than an MBA class. These two youngsters have given us a lot of ideas, I'll tell you. They have the guts and they're able to express themselves so beautifully. It's inspirational. Thank you for the opportunity. Now, the next thing I'm being asked to do is to introduce Ram Sheshu. I know this is not a purely Rotary alone meeting, therefore we are doing it. Otherwise, if it was Rotary alone, I will not dare do that because there's nobody in 3193 who doesn't know Ram Sheshu actually. Both, he's conspicuous both physically and in terms of knowledge and ability. But for the formality sake of it, I will introduce my good friend. Well, Ram Sheshu has a econometrics degree from Bombay University. He basically started off as a ad man, ad and advertisement marketing. And if you love the ads from Amul and ICICI Bank and others, I think he has a role to do in those things. Quite successful in that what he did initially. But then as days went along, he saw that not only can he be excellent what he does, he wants to introduce others to the excellence also. So he went on a different tangent and like motivating others. Now, typically, what you saw in Ankit and Prasoon is what he creates all over the country today, actually. At least a lack of students have been inspired by him. Excellent team. His company is called, I'll just 1 second.
Born to Win.
Born to Win Bangalore Services. I think I heard him on many occasions. In fact, recently I had the occasion to work with him on an inter-district Raila camp, and I knew what organizing capacity he has got. So no surprise that he has been successful. And let me also break one myth saying that he just caters to the IT industry or a banking industry. He goes as low as down to KPTCL or a government school to teach people about leadership qualities and other things. So that shows the variety in him. And therefore, no wonder that he is such a leader in Rotary also. He joined Rotary in the year 2014 in the Bangalore's best club, the Bangalore main club, and rose in height. And in 2014-15, he was the president. And I just noted that he contributes a huge amount to TRF that year. It is not easy. It's big money. I can just go to the actual value in that. $4.36 lakh was his contribution to TRF. Ram Sheshu, congrats on that. Not many can do that actually. And having seen his leadership qualities in the Rotary, he missed no post.
To get to where you want to get to. So thank you very much for that lovely introduction. The nice thing in Rotary is that there are nice people who introduce you in a nice way. So I guess, Manoj and Sundar, thank you so much for having me here. I've been fascinated with both the stories that we've heard just now. I like the fact that, when you're on this particular journey of entrepreneurship, you've got to be doing so many different things. One of my favorite things that I like to quote is this, that if you look at India is actually a land of entrepreneurs. The basic construct of India is entrepreneurship. Somewhere along the way, we kind of have forgotten that. And I think I'm delighted that you've got Prasoon, you've got Ankit, you've got all these young people who are getting you to rediscover, this point of entrepreneurship. And Prasoon, I'm very happy that you got motivated by Sunil, who's an old friend of mine. We did a lot of work together when he used to run Core Embalaj many years ago, in Ahmedabad. Why do I say that entrepreneurship runs in our blood? I'll tell you why. It's a known fact that India has, the Indian nation, if you look at the Indian nation, has constantly been under attack for the last 400, 500, 600 years. And, people have come, ravaged the country and have gone back. Now, if you take any comparative civilization in those last 400, 500, 600 years, which was subject to such attacks where people came, pillaged, foraged, took away whatever wealth we had and went back, those civilizations never really recovered. But there is something to say about the resilience of the Indian entrepreneur that made her or him keep coming back and creating wealth. That is why every 30, 40, 50 years you had somebody coming in and deciding, okay, here is an interesting target, let me come, let me take over this country, let me take the wealth and get back to wherever I'm going to go to. And therefore, the Indian concept of entrepreneurship in my research is a concept called Antarprerana, which is how do you get that motivation from within? And I completely love what Ankit mentioned, that look, you just need to have that fire in the belly. You need to figure out a way of, getting that every day. And Prasoon, what you talked about, the entire, karma circle, I think is a karma quotient, I think is a very, very interesting part. And to both of you, I think, we're delighted as Rotary to honor you and to present this Vocational Excellence Award. Because I think, one of the things that the Vocational Excellence Award from Rotary actually does is that it recognizes that both of you are well on your way to becoming a Sthita Prajna. And a Sthita Prajna, as you know, is somebody who can handle opposites, who can handle, diversity, who can handle failure, who can handle, success in a good way. And we are hoping that today, with conferring this particular recognition on both of you, Prasoon and Ankit, that you will continue to be Sthita Prajnas, you will continue to go on in this journey of entrepreneurship, you will continue to be able to handle opposites. There is a lot of praise that is coming your way today. I'm sure there's a lot of criticism that's come your way, and I'm sure that in the future there will be more criticism that will come your way. And we would like you to figure out a way that you will be able to handle praise and criticism equally. Like a Sthita Prajna, don't get carried away by the opposites. I'm hoping that, both of, and I'm not why hoping, I'm very sure that you both will get to that unicorn status. Don't get carried away when you do that. Remember, Rotary at that point of time, give back in whatever way that you can, like this, give back your time, give back your talent, and of course, share your money. But this award that is being given, this recognition that is being given to the two of you, is to recognize, of course, recognize your journey or what you have been till now. But more importantly, we are all making a commitment to both of you that we will be very keen to watch your continued success in life, the way you're going to continue to keep creating wealth, not only for yourself, but for all those who are going to work for you. We need more people like you, Ankit and Prasoon, because if India has to reclaim its rightful position of being a leader in the world, of being a beacon in the world, we need more Ankits, we need more Prasoons. So you have today, along with this recognition, a certain amount of responsibility that Rotary is bestowing on both of you, that my young friends, go and do what you do very well, which is to create stories, to create inspirations, to become those lighthouses in life. God bless you both. And, on behalf of Rotary, District 3190, the District Governor, Nagendra Prasad, this lovely team that Manoj, Radhakrishna, Sundar and all put together, the Vocational Services team, we acknowledge your contribution, we recognize you. And Manoj, can you pull up the first certificate that we would like to present? Can we just see this in full, if you don't mind? Is Prasoon around?
Yeah, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate your kind words.
Prasoon,
I'm extremely glad.
Let me read the citation out for you, Prasoon. This is the Rotary District 3190 and the Rotary Bangalore Whitefield Central jointly bestow the Rotary Vocational Excellence Award to Mr. Prasoon Gupta, who's the CEO and co-founder of Satvika, right? Have I got that right?
Yes, sir. Satviko. Yes, sir.
Satviko, okay. In recognition of excellence achieved in his chosen field of vocation and contributing to the good of the society for Jnana Vaividya, the Vocational Diversity Speaker Series presented by me on the 14th of October, signed by a whole host of people. This is on behalf of Rotary Bangalore and the guest clubs today, Rotary Bangalore Orion Gateway, Rotaract CMR, Rotary Bangalore Rajajinagar, Lions Dhule, and the Rotary Club of Bangalore. Prasoon, God bless you, my young friend.
Thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate it.
Continue to do what you're doing. And well, I do hope that when you launch those flights, we will be with you on that.
Of course, sir. Looking forward. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Prasoon. Keep in touch, my fiancé.
Yeah, I will, sir. Thank you.
Manoj, can we get up the next certificate, please? Ankit, Fascinating story, Ankit. What a lost passport. And see how much things can come with you.
Exactly.
Ankit, the Rotary District 3190 and the Rotary Bangalore Whitefield Central jointly bestow the Rotary Vocational Excellence Award to Mr. Ankit Sahu, who's the Director of Objectify Technologies Private Limited, in recognition of the excellence achieved in his chosen field of vocation and contributing to the good of the society for Gnana Vaividya, which is the Vocational Diversity Speaker Series presented by me on the 14th of October and signed today in recognition by a whole host of dignitaries. The guest clubs today are Rotary Bangalore Orion Gateway, the Rotrack CMR, Rotary Bangalore Rajaji Nagar, Lions Club of Dhule, and the Rotary Club of Bangalore. Ankit,
Thank you so
you.
much.
Keep doing what you're doing, Ankit.
Thank
We will look forward to your continued success and to hear from you your stories that will inspire so many young people. God bless you.
Exactly. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It was a great opportunity. The only closing words I just wanted to say is like what people are always talking about entrepreneurship, and that word has really caught up in the past decade itself in India mostly. But as you rightly said, we have been working on entrepreneurship since our ancient times, and but this fascinating world and the way you have deciphered the word entrepreneurship is something a takeaway from my end. And thank you so much. Thank you, Manoj sir. Thank you, Shankar sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
आप दोनों तो नॉर्थ के हो तो प्रेरित कीजिए जो आपकी अंतर जो है प्रेरणा उससे हम सबको प्रेरित कीजिए और एक पूरी जनरेशन को प्रेरित कीजिए ठीक है ना
Thank you so much.
सर हम आपसे प्रेरित हो रहे हैं कर्मा सर्कल
Thank you, sir.
चलिए सर थैंक यू सो मच सर बाय बाय थैंक यू मनोज सर थैंक यू सो मच
फैंटास्टिक आई थिंक राम कुमार सर आपने तो चार चांद लगा दिए प्रोग्राम में मजा आ गया द वे यू स्पोक एंड द वे यू हैव रियली नरेटेड दिस एंटायर थिंग एंड एज अंकित राइटली सेड द वे यू हैव डेसिफाइड द एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप टू एंटरप्रेन्योर थिंग I think this will fit into everybody's mind, according to me. People who are going to listen to this recording later, as well as people who are here. So thank you so much.
Ankit and Prasun, I must share something with both of you.
Yes, sir.
yes sir
We are now working on a program to create 1 million enlightened entrepreneurs. You know, we want to create 1 million enlightened entrepreneurs in this country in the next 5 to 10 years. I'd really like both of you to join us in that journey.
Yes, sir.
of course sir.
Why not, sir?
always
Why
there
not, sir? Why not, sir?
Fantastic. Thank you very
So,
much.
sir-
thank you so much sir
Yes, sir. Yes,
bye bye
Bye bye, sir.
Namaskar, Shubh.
Rotarian Ram Sheshu, thank you for coming and joining and blessing this session. Thank you so much. This is Rotarian Radhakrishna.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, Ramsheshu. Som Sundar here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Over to you, Raja.
Thank you, Manoj. It's an excellent session. And then there are two speakers and Prasun Gupta and Ankit. It's really a great talk. And then what not we talked, actually you talked about like ISKCON, the spiritual and also business. And then both of you are coming from the different background. You gave a different perspective of the entrepreneurship. Really, thank you for sharing all these things. And before moving further, actually, I would like to thank our Manoj Kabre for our RBWC president for giving me this opportunity, and the entire RBWC team for organizing this event, along with the district vocational team. I'd like to thank Dr. Radhakrishna, District Vocational Service Director, and also the district IT team for setting up the entire infrastructure for this. And I would like to thank Rotarian Shekhar Hariharan and also Somasundar for introducing the speaker and also the chief guest. And I would like to specially thank our today's chief guest, past President Rotarian Ram Kumar Sheshu. I mean, you add the final cake in the ice. Okay, that's like a really nice. We wish you all the very best to make 1 million entrepreneurs in India. And definitely our today's speakers will help us to do that. And I would also like to thank our guest club today, Rotary Bangalore Orient Gateway, Rotract CMR, Rotary Bangalore Rajajinagar, Lions Club Dhule, and Rotary Club of Bangalore. And I would also like to thank all the Rotarians and non-Rotarians for joining today's event. And before we close down, I would like to share the next week meeting. That is the final meeting of the series. It's a 12th one. It's a future of mobility. As usual, we have an excellent speaker next week on next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Dr. Sheshu Bhagavatullah. He is a board of director and Volta Trucks Germany. They are creating a 16-ton electric truck, the only electric truck, and previously he was with the Ashok Leyland CTO. So we would like to hear from him next week. I would like to invite everybody for the next week event also. And thank you for joining today and make this event very successful. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Rajaram, and thank you everyone.
My friends.
Thank you, everybody.
And good day to people from US and Canada. Shankar Rao, sir.
Manoj, good job.
Great. Thanks a lot, sir.